Many folks don't know that Ben Hogan won 5 USGA national championships. In this episode, I'm going to have a very deep conversation with the author of a new book, The Open Question, by Peter May, a Boston Globe and New York Times best-selling author. Peter May is going to talk me through the process of how we decided to write this book. We'll discuss whether or not the merits of the win should be considered a U.S. Open, and we're going to talk about many of Mr. Hogan's contemporaries that made the competition just as stiff as you would expect from any major championship field. Please enjoy this excerpt from my new interview with Peter May. The full-length interview is available at MSE TV, my brand new premium subscription site that has all of my golf instruction and my interviews with legends of the game. Hit them long and hit them straight. Hey guys, I am super excited to be with the author of The Open Question, Mr. Peter May. How are you today, Peter?
I am great, Christo. Thank you for having me on.
This is a really wonderful day for me because I'm so excited that you've written this book about a very, very important subject in the history of golf, because I think that it could separate the logjam at 9 majors if people understood what happened during World War II. He's kind of in a logjam up there because he's at 9 majors, and the double-digit major winners seem to have a whole different, they occupy a different air. So can you tell me how you became acquainted with the Ben Hogan question about the 1942 Hail America Open?
The way I found out about it was during the 2017 US Open. Justin Thomas was shooting a low round, I think it was the 3rd round. And I was following Dan Jenkins at the time on Twitter. And so I was like watching the tournament, and I looked at my phone, and there's this tweet from Dan Jenkins, and it says, Justin Thomas, en route to a 63, tie the US Open record, he said. But he said, that's not the real record. The real record is 62 that Hogan shot in the 42 US Open. And Hogan counts it, and so do I. And so, which I know comes as no surprise to you. And so I thought to myself, what on earth is he talking about? And one thing led to another. I got corresponded with Dan through his daughter, Sally, who's a columnist at the Washington Post. And Sally and I had overlapped in our years at the Globe and the Post. And she was very nice. And she said, I'll be happy to put you in touch with my father. He only does email. He doesn't do phone. And make sure you don't tell him you teach at Brandeis, because,
in 1942, it's my understanding that the qualifications, the regional tournaments, the date was the same, that there's really no difference between the Hail America Open and a normal US Open. Is that what you discovered?
Yes and no. The USGA ran the tournament almost exactly the way they ran the US Open back then. The two things that were different for the Hail America was there was no cut after 36 holes, and it was a 4-day tournament, not a 3-day tournament. The reason I think they made it 4 days was because the purpose of the tournament was to raise funds for the war. And you get 4 days, you're going to raise more money than you did for 3 days. So I think that was it. But to me, those are not, big deals in the grand scheme of things. They had the regional qualifying, they had the sectional qualifying. They threw out Sam Bird's clubs on the first day because the grooves didn't conform. Now, for someone like me, I don't know what that means because I'm not a very good player, but for Sam Bird, I think he probably meant a lot. And he had to borrow a set of clubs from a member at the club that they played at. And they also classified Bobby Jones as a professional for this tournament, which I'm not even sure Bobby Jones knew, because he had made a bundle of money after he retired from Warner Brothers doing golf videos. And they also stepped in, or didn't step in, I guess is a better way to say it, to a situation where in one of the qualifying rounds that was held at Olympia Fields, the 7 golfers showed up, had their qualifying times, had their invitations, had paid their entry fee, and they were black. And Olympia Fields told them, "You can't play here. I'm sorry." And they said, "Well, wait a minute, we paid our money." And Olympia Fields said, "Nope." And the USGA, instead of intervening, which they had done, years before at Shinnecock, decided to go by whatever its member club decided. So the 7 black players were not allowed to play. So there's a number of instances where the USGA asserted itself, or its fingerprints were all over this tournament. And I think that's one of the reasons why you have to at least think about this as a possible US Open, even though the USGA said it was not a US Open and continues to say it was not a US Open, and will, I think, always say that. I don't expect anything to change.
Also, I want to announce that November 6th and 7th, the first MSE Intensive of this year, is going to be held at Minimal Golf Club with my buddy Sam down in Redondo Beach, California. It is gorgeous. The Minimal Golf Studio has multiple simulators. We're going to be using very high-tech materials to be able to diagnose everybody's swings. We're also going to make it out to the golf course, and on Saturday night, we're going to have a big old party down in California. So come on out, hit me up, Christo at myswingevolution.com if you'd like more details, and please enjoy this video on drills. And if you like, please subscribe, click a like, leave a comment. That all helps us out here, and I hope you hit them long and hit them straight. Hi, I'm Christo Garcia, the founder of My Swing Evolution. A few years back, I picked up Ben Hogan's 5 Lessons book because I wanted to improve my golf game. Well, my golfing dreams came true. Today I'm sponsored by the Ben Hogan Golf Company. I've shot under par many times, and I even had the chance to play Ben Hogan in a Golf Channel special. So in this series, I'm going to take you through the most important lessons that I learned from Ben Hogan's famous book.